Here in Tenerife, in our venue, and this is the first Group A game. Also, you see that in Group A, France winning 89-58 over Korea in the other venue. So I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Shona Thorburn, and former Canada international. So she has perhaps a more interest in this than most people. But these are the rankings coming into the play. The world rankings: Korea 16, Greece 20, France number 3, and Canada 5. You might think that on that evidence, this could come down to France v. Canada for first place. But you know, sometimes rankings don't tell the whole story in terms of who's there, who's not there. But Shona, perhaps expect the unexpected. Especially when Greece is here, you never know how they're going to play. They've come up with some big results over the years.
They really have, and if you have a Greek goddess like Ivana Maltzi on your team, anything is absolutely possible. She is the heart and soul, along with being the top scorer and top performer on this Greek team. She is absolutely a legend in her country and a legend in European basketball. So watch out for her. And like you said, you know, earlier today we saw Australia and Nigeria. Nigeria were ranked 34th in the world. Not sure after their game against Australia. I know they lost by 18, but that ranking is just a number, and I think people are here to prove that that's all it is. It is only a number. So watch out for Greece. I mean, they're fit, they're healthy. We saw them last summer, and I think they're going to really give Canada a test.
Well, speaking of Canada, here they are, and we know all these players: Marinda Ayim, Kim Gaucher, Naira Fields. Canada women's basketball, really, and you were a part of that for the past decade, has been on the way up. And you know, the question now is, how do they consolidate that position and perhaps even go, you know, reach for even new heights?
I mean, basically for Canada to reach new heights, it means them being on the podium. And I know that's their goal going into this tournament. I think they would be disappointed if they didn't make the podium. But you know what? It starts tonight, and it starts, every game is important, and you can't look past any team, and they can't look past Greece tonight.
Well, Greece, we talked a lot about Ivana Maltzi, but you know, their game is all about trying to outsmart the opposition. They do have skilled players. There's Maltzi, and in many respects, the coach on the floor. Stella Kaltsidou, another veteran. Nicolopoulou, an outstanding talent. Sotirio as well is big time for Greece. You know, nobody expected them to be here going into the Eurobasket women last year. They didn't think they would even get out of their group. They had to qualify for the Eurobasket women, but here they are. And maybe more surprises are on the way for the Greeks.
Yeah, they had a great tournament. I think they ran out of steam in that bronze medal game against a Belgian team that was just kind of running on all cylinders near the end of that tournament. And, I mean, we talked about Maltzi, but Kaltsidou, and she has a supporting cast around her, so it's going to be interesting.
Okay, we're going to pause for the playing of the national anthems of Canada and Greece.
Now please remain standing for the national anthem of Greece.
Okay, the national anthems have been played, and now it's all about focus, a moment of truth, all that stuff. And players meet in mid-court. There's Lisa Tomaitis, your coach when you guys played in Rio, and she's still at the helm. And they're the referees. Good crew tonight, Manuel Mazzoni from Italy, Özlem Yalman from Turkey, and Takaki Kato from Japan.
The commissioner, Mr. Nasheed Moussaoui from Algeria.
And as the players go through their final warm-ups, we'll take a look at rosters and starting fives. And it's getting harder and harder to make this Canada team. It really is. I mean, Maya Marie Langlos, Kia Nurse, Bridget Carlton, Kim
Naira
Gaucher.
Raincock.
Yep. I mean, Marinda Ayim, Naira Fields. Who would want to be a coach to have to come up with your final roster?
Yeah, you know, I'm sure it was a very difficult decision for Coach Tomaitis.
Look at that. So here's your starting five. Is that what you would expected?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I really think for them to go far in this tournament and make the podium, watch Kia Nurse, absolutely. But it's her supporting cast around her right now that she also has, which maybe Canada hasn't really had in the past. Nada Chanwa is probably coming off one of her best WNBA seasons, one of her best overseas seasons. She's finally healthy. You know, you have Am, who's been around for a while, who's consistent, and now we have Greece. I mean, I talked about Malti earlier. You also have Kaltsidou, you have Spanu, you have Nicola Palou. I mean, Malti and Kaltsidou, they have players around them, and no surprise here. I mean, right away, anyone who knows women's basketball, you're going to think of Malti because she is a star and she has been around for so long, and we're going to have so many opportunities to be able to talk about her. Over 16 points a game last year in Eurobasket. You know, keep in mind, this woman's 39 years old, and she has played many games for her national team. And we'll talk about some of her feats coming up during this game because they're honestly astonishing. They're absolutely great.
Your attention, please. The Molten Game Ball is presented by Endesa.
So just 45 seconds away from the start of this game. We watched Australia beat a very good Nigeria team here today. We've just watched Turkey just really demolish Argentina. Argentina just couldn't score.
They really
That's the
couldn't.
bottom line. Lisa Tomaitis.
Five down and pitch. Okay, for right now, just stick with that. Okay, let's see if we can get some naked ball screen. Naked and scrape, yeah, absolutely.
I suppose.
If so, go
I suppose
wide.
continuity is crucial for both of these teams. They both got a lot of returning players from last summer, so that should make life a lot easier as well for Konstantinos Karamidas.
And, you know, both teams are obviously very passionate to wear their country, but I feel like the Greeks show it a little bit more. If you've ever watched any Greek sports, I mean, if you've watched basketball, football, soccer in Greece, they're just so passionate when it comes to wearing their country's colors and their country's names across their chest, and they show that all game. And I think it's what kind of brings them energy, and, you know, maybe that's what also helps them pull out a couple wins, especially what we saw last summer, because they were sort of the underdogs to even make this tournament.
Spanu will be very important for this Greek team. Remember her last year, she was solid. And she will be jumping center here at the start.
Yeah, and I think Spanu, for an undersized post, does a great job.
Good evening, folks. Welcome here to Tenerife. This is the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup. It's opening day, and it's Canada taking on Greece. And the opening tip.
Have you seen this before?
Guessing they're going to do it
6 seconds
again.
into the game, we have a jump ball because there was no possession, right?
Yeah, so I don't. You're right. I've never seen it. There's a first time for everything, and Canada will, in fact, start things off wearing the red and attacking the basket to the right on your screen. Inside, and Chanwa fouled. And she goes to the line for N1.
I think Canada are going to have a huge advantage in the key with Nada Chanwa and Nayo Renkak. I think it's going to be difficult for Greece to match their physicality and athleticism.
Okay, so Chanwa does not get the three-point play. Lemura, the veteran point guard, over to Maltzy. Pump fake for three. Maltzy's been around, to put it mildly. Played the 2004 Olympics.
Over 20 points a game in the 2004 Olympics.
Gaucher hits a three. So a quick start for Canada. Here's Kautsidou. And Maltzy again for three. This time tickles the twine.
I have to be honest, I'm not sure I've ever seen Maltzy miss 2 in a row.
Well, she lit it up last year at the Eurobasket Women. I think she may have struggled a little bit the semifinals and the final.
Third place
game, yeah.
I think you know what? I think.
Talking about not missing 2 in a row. Gaucher, she's a good shooter.
She's a great shooter, and it's nice to see her hit her first shot and get a first shot early in this offense. I mean, you know, Maltzy last year was 38, absolutely had an incredible tournament, all-star caliber.
And the drive, and the ball goes out of bounds. So a little bit of full court pressure here.
Which I'm really not surprised. I think if Canada notices one of their strengths, it's going to be how many people they have on the bench, and that they could probably tire this Greek team out. I think Canada has a bigger bench to go to than this Greek team.
Kautsidou takes on Gaucher. Charge. She kind of leaned into her and also led with that right forearm. That was an easy call for the ref.
I mean, it was a great call. I think Kim did a good job of reading her, cutting her off baseline, and she just sort of went with her shoulder down.
Now, they will know each other from the battles in France, right? Because Kautsidou used to play for Bourges.
And Villeneuve, Villeneuve d'Ascq, yeah. So they have played against each other, and they've also, this is not their first encounter at the international level.
And another foul. I'm guessing we'll see Canada go to the line a lot in early today. If this start is any indication, 3 fouls already called on Greece.
But I mean, you know, we saw Nada Chanwa draw a foul. Nayo Renkak has already drawn a foul, and that's where Canada has the advantage.
Linglov gets it in. Renkak. And now Kia Nurse. Short little jumper. I don't think Greece want to run with Canada. They want to run their offense every time down all the way to the end. Kautsidou misses. And it's going to be Canada possession. Nurse goes baseline. And she will get free throws on this one. What is it do you think Greece are trying to do defensively?
You know, they're definitely fouling hard. They're making sure no and ones are happening, that's for sure. I think they're also trying to set the tone, you know, hey, this is what it's going to be like. We're not going to give you anything easy. UK, you know, you're ranked higher in the world than us, but we're not going to back down. We're not intimidated by you, and I think that's what they're showing. But already, you know, one more foul and Canada's in bonus. It's only the 7-minute mark. That's troublesome for Greece as well.
So Spiridopoulou goes out of the game. And coming in is Eliana Kristinaki. And it's not going to be a strategy that works if Canada make their free throws as well.
And be able to get into this full court kind of press.
Oh, backdoor cut. Maltzy goes up. She's just a baller.
She really is. And, you know, we talked about this last summer.
Gym rat.
She actually looks more fit now than she did maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah. That's just almost unforgivable for Greece. You've got 3 people standing right under the basket, and nobody puts a body on Rankok.
And she is someone you really need to put a body on. She has hops like a kangaroo. Like the Australian fan we saw today with his kangaroo.
Grant.
That's what Nayo takes after.
Yes. Langlo, and that's long. Wow, Gaucher banks it in. And worrying start for Greece.
And I think that was a great job of Canada to not getting freaked out even though the shot clock was winding down. And Nada Chanwa, she can score, but I actually think the best part of her game is her passing game. And her passing for a big, it's like a point guard. She sees everything. See a highlight, that great back door by the legend Maltzy.
Maltzy will play most of the game, and as you say, Canada are going to have a big rotation. But Greece, they need to rely on Maltzy a lot, Calcidou a lot, Spanu. They will play as much as possible. And I think that was Marinda Yim, the foul. Nicolopoulou comes into the game. Interesting how Greece, their starting lineup, because you could argue that she might be the first choice point guard. Now she comes off the bench.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Maltzy fouled. I don't know if that was on Nurse or Kali. It's on Kali, okay. So now the fouls start to accumulate a little bit as well for Canada. They've got 3. Nicolopoulou looks for an opening. Over to Maltzy. Oh, the pass was right on the money, but for the second time in a row, Greece do not make the catch, and Canada look over at the referee, wondering if he's going to call an unsportsmanlike.
I mean, either way, Canada are in the bonus, so they're shooting 2 free throws, right? But we saw recently the refs really start to call those unsportsmanlike fouls. Even if you didn't have the advantage, if they felt like you fouled to slow the fast break down, it was the automatic unsportsmanlike. But there's been a couple times today in our previous games that we've already watched that they haven't called it. So maybe the rules changing a little. We'll have to ask one of the referees we see walking around.
Canada 3 of 4 inside in the lane, and Greece have made their only attempt. That was Maltzy on the back door. They need Spanu to get some touches, and Maltzy's actually put the ball right on the money a couple of times underneath, and her teammates just haven't caught the ball, albeit they've been in traffic.
Yeah, I think they really need Spanu to get some shot attempts here. We haven't seen any from her. And she was their third leading scorer last year with 10 points a game at Eurobasket. So they need to get her going. You can't only rely on Maltzy and Kaltsidou.
Gaucher takes a seat. She's got 5 points. The three-pointer, and also that shot that she hit kind of right late in the shot clock, rolling to the basket. And Nurse now makes her third consecutive free throw. So a good start to this tournament for Kia Nurse. Nicolapoulou. I mean, Kia Nurse has been with this program for a while, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has. She made her debut for Canada back in 2013.
So as a high schooler,
the Americas,
right?
as a teener.
Maltzy off the back of the iron, and Kaltsidou gets it back out to her. Now they find Kaltsidou with a little pump fake. Good find by Spanu. Now Ayim puts it up from the baseline. Boy, that was silky smooth, just kind of turned to her right.
You know, that baseline shot for Miranda Ayim is kind of it's her sweet spot. It's not somewhere you want to leave her open. Mind you, I think it was pretty well contested.
And a foul called as Nicolapoulou puts the pressure on that D. Here's Ayim. So Spanu's going to come out of the game. This is Kaltsidou making that basket down low. You know, another one that's been in this program for an awful long time is Achanwa. Natalie Achanwa. I mean, she
played back in
2010.
Yeah.
Before
as a
she
teen.
even went to Notre Dame.
Yep, exactly.
Maltzy off the back of the iron. Wow. You know, sometimes it's little second efforts like that play right there that are the difference between teams staying in games and just getting run out of the gym early. That little second effort goes off of forces the ball off of Canada, and Greece are going to keep possession. Maltzy fouled and by Kali again, so free throws for Greece, and they'll take that all day long. So the final 3:38 now. And Greece might just be content to put the ball in Maltzy's hands every time down and let her try to go to the basket.
Try and draw a foul. I mean, you know, it's when you're down and you can stop the clock to put points on the basket, points on your scoreboard.
On the board, yeah.
It's smart.
I mean, she's going to be 40 years old in December. This is a remarkable story, isn't it? And the same with Laia Palau of Spain. She's 39.
Another 39-year-old, yeah.
And playing at the level that they play. In some ways, with Laia Palau, it's even more incredible considering the talent in Spain that they still need her. That's how important she is. But anyway,
I feel like she will always be welcomed. Kind of like Celine Dumeric of France. If Celine said, hey, you know what, never mind. Because Laia Palau did announce her retirement after Eurobasket.
And they
they lifted
said, we'll
her.
See.
Yeah. So how are you?
Good follow from Hamblin. Gets it, throws it in the hands of Maltzy. Maltzy loses it. Fasula on the ground. And Fasula's come in, and it's going to be Greece ball.
You know, I imagine if Celine Dumeric called up Valerie Garnier today and said, I'll suit up again, she will welcome her with open arms. And I think that's kind of how it is for Laia Palau, how it's going to be for Maltzy. It's, you know, it's on their terms whenever they're ready to be done.
I'm sure it's that way for you as well, Shona. So a little bit of full court pressure here. Calcidu able to inbound it to Maltzy. Nicolapoulou. And boy, Carlton almost was able to sneak in there and take that ball. Maltzy, shot clock winding down, gets her feet set. And in this situation, that is a good shot for Greece. I mean, that's under pressure, but here's Carlton. And Ayim rather. And a long rebound out to Naira Fields. Oh, she led with her left hand right in front of the referee. And also, you know the Greeks with the drama.
Wasn't a very hard push, but I think it was a good job by the veteran Calcidu to also draw the foul.
So Maltzy sits down. This is important with 2:26 to go in the first quarter. And watch now as Tamati comes in, number 5, where the ball goes. Calcidu is probably the most polished performer offensively who's out there.
And you know, she's playing the 4 for them, and on her pro teams, she's a 3. She's not a 4, so she really is playing out of position. So it kind of shows you
the Greeks
maybe
are
how
undersized.
Yes, exactly.
Kostanaki. Randayim. Kostanaki with the rebound. Beautiful bounce pass to Fasula, and Fasula is fouled, so she will go to the free throw line. So now, if you think you've heard that name before, Fasula, well, you almost have. It's actually, she is the daughter of Panayotis Fasoulas, who played on the legendary Greek team, starting center. The men's team that won the Eurobasket back in '87 with Gallus and Yanakis. And she misses the first one. And she has played college basketball in America. And Fasoulas is very famous in my neck of the woods, North Carolina, because he played at North Carolina State for a year for Jim Valvano.
Your rival school.
One of them. A lot of ABC fans out there. Well, Greece kind of trying to stay within touch right now. Question is, can Canada land a few blows here before the end of the quarter? And that was a push. Good job from Rankok Akunwe to get in there. She brings an element to the Canadian team that you haven't had, Rankok Akunwe. Her length and
athleticism and jumping ability.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I really, you know, in the last few years, Canada has become a lot more dynamic and a lot more athletic, and it shows in their play. It really does. I mean, she ran in from the three-point line and almost got that offensive rebound. She didn't get the rebound, but she drew the foul, and she's at the free throw line. We weren't ever able to do that before. So it does, you know, it gives you a different dynamic, a different look.
And the offensive rebound on the missed free throw keeps the ball with Canada. You know, in that advantage also with Canada as Gaucher takes the three and takes it up to an 11-point lead, the biggest of the game. You cannot underestimate the experience factor for Canada with all of the Olympians. And some of them have played in 2 Olympic Games.
I mean, the 5 people out on the court right now are all Olympians.
Yeah. Stamati. Oh, that was a dangerous pass. Somehow they lived to tell the tale. And that, again, is a tough shot for Greece. Gaucher goes behind her back. Bounce pass to Rankakakunwe and Spano. And you're right. I mean, there is no answer down low for Greece defensively.
And, you know, I think this is a great sign for Kim. She's, you know, hit her 2 threes already, 8 points, I believe. Great start for the veteran Kim Gaucher.
And Canada at the free throw line are doing some damage. 6 of 8. Nikolapoulou over to Stamati. Oh, almost led with her forearm there. And Kristanaki for 3. So Canada get it with another chance here. 8.1 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Another athletic guard here for Canada, Naira Fields.
She's shaking and baking. She puts it up. She clangs it off the rim, and that is the end of the opening quarter, and it's been all Canada. They lead it 23-10 over Greece. Well, it's all looking pretty good for Canada in every respect. The three-pointers, they're proving to be a threat from deep. They're shooting from a good percentage inside the line, inside the arc, and as well as at the line.
I know they put up 23 points, which is a lot of points for a quarter, but I think it's their defense. They've held Greece to 10 points. I know Malti has 7 of those 10 points, so clearly Greece has to figure out who else can score for them, because you're not going to win a game at this level on your own.
And especially when you're 39 years old and going up against a team that can put Olympians on the floor most of the time.
You have Kia Nurse guarding Malti. And was Kia even born when Malti started playing professional for Greece?
Yeah, fresh legs. Well, this is really the crunch time right now for Greece. If they're going to stay in this game, you feel like you don't really want to fall more than 13, 15 points behind if you want to be able to make a run.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't count Greece out just yet, just because they do have Malti on the team. And I mean, this is a woman who can score back-to-back-to-back-to-back three-pointers. Very fast.
But they need some...
But they need stops.
They need stops, and they need to toughen up down low, and they need to contain this player right here who's becoming a factor. Rankaka Kunwe. She gets it to Gaucher. They're swinging it. Kia Nurse. And even that time, they had her boxed out, and she chased down the rebound.
Did she hit the rim on that?
I don't think. She may have
just
actually hit the
two
backboard.
threes and
You're going to bust
a wide
her
open
chops
shot.
on that
I
one.
am. She's going to hear about that shot later.
Spanu. One shot now for the Greeks. Bounce pass. Gaucher. 15 points, the advantage.
I mean, if you're just watching Kia Nurse guard Maltzy here, she is just everywhere Maltzy wants to go. Kia is there first. Kia is bumping her. Kia is frustrating her.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not sure that's the shot that they wanted.
She tried to make a deposit there, but the bank was not open. And that was taken under pressure. And this is just far too easy.
Beautiful pass by Maya.
Yep.
Great cut by Kim, but it's too easy. You got to get back on defense. If you want to get back in this game and you're Greece, you have to get stops and you have to get easy shots.
Chalma hands it off. A beautiful pass again, and it's Rankaka Kunwe. Oh, what does it say about Canada? We really thought that they might be tested tonight, and right now, this is one-way traffic. Nikolapoulou over to Spanu.
I'm not sure that's a shot either that they want Greece to take.
Nurse. Oh, I think she also kind of lowered her head and led with that right forearm a little bit. You think they're going to make that call in America? Well, possibly.
You know, we've seen it called 3 times already in this game.
Yeah.
So clearly this is something that they're looking for. They don't want you to dip your shoulder, push off a little on the defense. So they're calling it, so you need to stop doing it, basically.
Pavlopoulos in the game. Penelope Pavlopoulos. And now an offensive foul called on was it on Calcido?
Screening foul?
No, it was on Maltzy. And Fields at the line. Boy, offensive rebounds. Greece are getting close to the point of no return if they don't turn things around now.
Yeah, they are. And, you know, talk about offensive rebounds. Canada has the same amount of offensive rebounds as they do defensive rebounds. 19 each. 9 in each category. And that's a point of concern if I am Greece. You still have 7.5 minutes left in the second quarter. You've already given up, 10. They just changed it. 10 offensive rebounds. It's going to be a long night.
And now foul down low. Calcido. So Calcido has 3 fouls. So it's getting worse before it gets better for Greece. One of their probably indispensable players has to exit the court.
Maybe we'll see her again at the end of the second quarter.
She often has foul trouble. That's something that has plagued her in her national team career. She's a foul magnet. She is. Rankaka Kunwe, boy, has really made an impact in this game. And both free throws, and it's Gaucher that's leading the scoring with 10 points.
And an air ball. Let's not forget that.
Yes.
It did hit the backboard, that's for sure.
Oh, Maltzy taking a very difficult shot. But if they're going to depend on Maltzy scoring with little runners.
It's, again, it's going to be a long night.
29-12. And Chanwa and Canada right now are rolling.
They really have no answer for Nat Achanwa and Nayo Rankok-Ikungwe.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they're more athletic, they're more powerful, they're more skilled than these Greek post players right now.
Kristanaki misses. Achanwa with the rebound. Langlos over to Plouffe. And Naira Fields. And a charge or an offensive foul on Achanwa.
So that's the fourth offensive foul we've seen where the offense has kind of put their shoulder down. That one looked a little less obvious to me than the others, just because the defense was moving at the same time, like really moving sort of at the same time, you know. But that's the fourth one that we've seen. So clearly this is a point of emphasis for the referees during this tournament.
Maltzy needing some magic, hits the three. 4.5 on the shot clock. And gets it back to a 16-point deficit.
She has 12 out of their 15 points.
And Miranda Ayim called for the foul on Spanu.
I think Spanu's laughing because she kind of said, yeah, maybe I acted a little bit there.
Look at Maltzy. She feels the defense.
But give credit to Spanu. That was a good screen. You know, she was patient. She made sure she hit Naira Fields, who was guarding Maltzy. And Maltzy, she doesn't need that much room. So if you give her a little bit of room, she's going to get that shot up.
So Maltzy's three, and now the turnover into the corner. The pass and the three-pointer. Pavlopoulou. And just like that, back to a 13-point deficit. But for the most part, everything good that's coming with Greece, it's either points from Maltzy or setting up teammates. No calls for concern here for Canada.
I don't think so. I think it's a smart timeout by Coach Tomaitis in Canada. You know, you see the veteran Kim Gaucher talking to the team saying, hey guys, calm down, we're okay, we're still up by a bunch. We just gotta, you know, get back to our rhythm, get back to our game. And that's what leadership is, and that's what Kim really brings, minus the fact that she's leading the team in scoring, but she also really brings that. And then the other veteran, Nat Achanwa, also talking to the team. I think it's just a good time to take a timeout, calm them down, and set something up.
Yeah.
And, you know, basketball is a game of runs, and you have to know when to stop the run, and that's also the coach's responsibility. The other team's gone on a little bit of a run. Okay, I need to stop it. The team hasn't stopped it, so take your opportunity, use your timeout. You know, you only get a certain amount of timeouts. You can't go into the second half with some of them, so why not use it right now?
But on skip passes, you have to attack or be ready to shoot. We're freezing the ball.
I mean, interestingly, on that play there, that just goes to show you how great of a shot that was from Maltzy, because she was fouled a couple of times on the way to the basket on that runner, and it wasn't even called with the reaches and everything else. But you really, you know, you just have to. You got to play through the fouls, really, don't you?
You have, and I think Canada have been very aggressive. They've been bumping Maltzy. They've been.
Fields for three, right out of the timeout.
I mean, that worked well.
That's a run buster.
But I really think Canada have been concentrating on Maltzy. They've been all over her. They have their best defenders on Maltzy, and she still has 12 points and is still creating for her teammates, and still, that's how good she is.
Well, she's going to take another 3. Pass Pavlopoulou. Spanu did a great job of boxing out and getting that rebound. Maltzy on the baseline, and finally Fields comes down with the rebound. That was Spiridopoulou who missed that shot, number 7. Another offensive rebound and put back.
I mean, do you see how quick her jump is? She is so athletic. It's like she has springs in her shoes. She doesn't need doping control. She needs someone to check her shoes, see if they have springs in them.
Yep, she may just well. Well, that's a nice answer by Kristanaki.
I think maybe minus 2 or 4 points. All of Nayo's 11 points are off of offensive rebounds. They have come from offensive rebounds.
Fields, back-to-back 3-pointers. And she got a shooter's roll that time. Shooter's bounce. Pavlopoulou. Another 3-pointer for her. Well, Greece showing signs of life offensively, but this is the part of the court really that concerns them the most. How do they guard the perimeter? You know, Fields heating up, getting some rebounds. That time Ren Kakakunwe was not inside. Kristanaki. Maltzy takes a deep breath off the front of the iron. Now, is there a point with, okay, Maltzy's going to come out. Is that, you know, is she trying to do too much? I know she wants to. She feels the need to do it.
Yeah, you know, if you look at statistics, she's only 4 for 11. It's not a great shooting percentage in the first half. She does have 14 points. To be honest, though, if you're watching, her shots look on. They've been the last couple shots have been a little short, and that's why maybe coach decided to take her out, because, you know, it means you're not using your legs. And the last one we just saw, she was open. You know, I know it was a 3 behind the screen, but she was still open. So maybe it's a good time to just try and give her a little bit of a breather, because we have seen some of her teammates score since she's been on. It hasn't always just been her and the people they have on right now.
Stamati. And now Colley and Gaucher wide open. Bam! She is not going to miss that one. She looks better than ever, to be honest. Gaucher.
I mean,
she stays healthy.
She is a baller. She is the heart and soul of this Canada team. She's the veteran. She's their go-to, and she is a great shooter. If you get her open, if you give her a good pass, I would bet on her making it more often than not.
Look at this, wide open. And gets it to go. So timeout on the floor by Greece. They were making a run, they got it down to 13. Canada called the timeout and have reopened a 19-point advantage.
And you know, you wonder if he's going to leave Kautsidu. You see her there, number 19, listening to coach. She went out early in this second quarter with 3 fouls, and I thought maybe he would put her back in to just see, but I guess he doesn't want. He really does not want to risk it, eh? Points in the paint, 7 to 10, 70%. A lot of those have been off of offensive rebounds. You know, if there's one thing that they have to look at, they've given up 11 offensive rebounds, and I think Canada's incredibly talented offensively. So they don't score the first time round, you're going to give them a second chance, they're not going to miss.
Yeah.
And that's really important when you're playing against a talented offensive team. You want to limit their chances to only one. Sorry, only one shot.
Right. Nurse drills the jumper. Back to a 21-point lead. And Fasula got it down low. But now, oh, good hustle from Stamati to knock it away. Somehow Greece are going to end up picking the ball up.
And
Lemura.
what I love most about this offense that we have seen from Canada is the fact that they have 6 players who have already scored, where a few of their exhibition games, I thought they were relying too heavily on 1 or 2 players. But I mean, everyone right now who is on is capable of scoring and is scoring for Canada, and they're doing that. They're sharing the ball, and you know, I really thought being successful, you never see a top 5 team in the world only rely on 1 or 2 people. Everyone has to be able to score at this level, and that's what you're seeing tonight from Canada.
Zachan with his jump shot on that previous trip down the floor. I mean, Greece can ill afford to fall even further behind here at the end of the first half. They're already facing a mountain.
No, right now, you know, if you're Greece, you're thinking stop, score, just to go into the second half.
And Nurse. And she has to be careful. Spirit Apapulo, who doesn't want to show up the referee if she disagrees with a call. So Kia Nurse is going to perhaps extend this advantage, which is getting close to the insurmountable stage. Some might say it already is. Well, what does it say about Canada? You know, we both anticipated this being a tricky game for them, or at least I did. And
I thought,
you know, and also, you know, I was reading where they were 25-point favorites. I just didn't believe it, but gosh, it looks like maybe they should have been favored by even more. Seriously.
I thought we would see a little bit of jitters out of Canada on paper. Knowing these 2 teams, I think Canada should be favored to win. But I thought we would see some jitters. I kind of thought we would see a little bit more fight and scoring spunk from Greece. You know, Calcido only has 3 points. Maltzi has 12, but she's taken 11 shots to get those 12. You know, we've only seen Spenu, she has 0 points, and we've seen her take 2 threes. Like, I don't think that's the kind of shots we need to see from her and for her to get points.
Well, that was better for Fasula. Greece will play Korea tomorrow. I mean, that's a crunch game for them because they'll have France after that, although historically they have played France in some tough games. So you certainly would not want to be going into a game against France needing to win that one to advance.
Absolutely not.
Nice touch from Fasula.
You also don't want to wait until the last day, you know, the last possible game in group play to advance. That's not ideal for anyone.
Fields has hit a couple of jumpers. She's going to let one fly here. Puts it up and good. Boy, talk about weapons. Canada has plenty of them.
They really do.
They might be sending out a message tonight. If you're looking for a potential team not to just get to the podium, dare we say, but to even threaten the real giants, maybe this is them. They are leading at 51-25. So worried looks on the faces of the Greek players, and as you look at the stats, you can understand why. It's just an annihilation right now.
It is. I mean, Canada are firing on all cylinders offensively. So if I'm Greece and I'm going into the locker room, you need to figure out a way to slow Canada's offensive attacks. One of them is box out. Don't give them second chances.
Well, this is the main problem. This is what got them in trouble. I mean, yeah, Canada are going to hit their shots, Gaucher and Fields, but you cannot allow them, Rankaka-Kunwe especially, and Achanwa, to just get offensive rebounds and score with putbacks.
Yeah.
Second chance points.
I mean, they only have 12, which seems low to me.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just, it's one way that you narrow the gap, and it's one way that you slow down a team that is playing great offensively, like Canada is doing. It's one and done. That's what coaches call it. You know what I mean? One and done, one shot and done, and then you're moving down to the other end. And Greece needs to do that, but they also need to figure out a way to score other than Maltzy, because right now they have no answer for Canada's defense.
Well, Greece have looked old tonight. Let's be honest. I mean, they've looked, you know, a little slow. Even when they've had numbers underneath the backboards, they haven't boxed out.
Yeah.
They just have looked a step slow, like they can't get open to take shots. It's one shot and out often, and they need, you know, it's like they're overly reliant on probably the greatest player they've ever had in their national team program, Maltzy, the Eurobasket 2009 MVP. So
2009 MVP, and they didn't even make the podium.
no, they finished fifth.
Do you know how incredible that is?
That
I mean,
is.
that just shows the kind of performance she is capable of doing, that people believe she is the MVP, even though she didn't get her team to a podium finish.
Although it was significant because they qualified for the World Cup. They took the last spot for the World Cup, and she had like a huge game. So it's, but they've got numerous problems. And again, from an experience standpoint, that recent experience, you can't play it down too much. They've just been solid, haven't they, Canada, the last several years? They win the America Cup last year. The year before that, they played at the Olympics. The year before that, you won the America Cup too, didn't you? In 2000, you also won the Pan Am Games.
13? Yeah, 15, sorry.
15.
Yeah, I just, you know, Canada basketball's programs, every year it's progressing and they're working. And, you know, obviously, this summer is incredibly important. 2020, they're also building to 2020. Keep that in mind. But, you know, I know this has only been 20 minutes. I have followed them this summer. I believe this might be the best Canada basketball team we've ever seen.
And would you have said that coming into this game?
No, not after watching some. You know, they were incredibly talented. I saw quite a few of their games, followed them, you know, in the pre-games leading up to this tournament. And I'm not, you know, I would have said they're very talented, they're athletic, but I'm just seeing a very different team. I mean, I love the fact that they are sharing the ball and everyone is scoring, because that's what you need to do to advance in this tournament and to get on the podium. You need performances from more than one or two people, and we're seeing that tonight, and I love it.
You're seeing growth and progress with Rankaka-Kunwe. You're seeing the steady veteran play of Gaucher. You're seeing Fields, who is just shooting lights out from three-point range. And you can't, you know, you're worried that if you go get a hand in her face, she's going to blow past you. So from that standpoint,
What do you do?
It's all good. There's too many weapons. And then that's the other thing. They come off the court, and other talented players are coming in. You know, it used to be, you could have argued really a couple of years ago that Kia Nurse was kind of the player that was, you know, Canada's star player, and she is a star player, but she's, you know, she's not the only one.
She has a supporting cast around her, and you know, this is something new for Canada. It is. There's more than one weapon, and we're seeing that tonight early. And you know, talking about their lead-up games, how, you know, I was a little disappointed with some of them. I thought they were great at times, but you know, this team of 12 really have only been together about 10 days. And so you knew that, you know, their lead-up tournament in France last week, to be exact, there was some ugly parts, and you know, they weren't used to playing with each other. And I just think that couple extra days that they have been here practicing before this game is paying off now.
Well, it's just one game, and they will be taking it one game at a time. It's cliche, but it's true, because you know, you got to be able to string together some good performances to win a tournament like this. And you also know there's some tough games ahead.
Señoras y señores, ¿conocen a la mascota más divertida de la Copa del Mundo Femenino FIBA 2018? Aquí está para hacer las delicias de pequeños y mayores. Se llama Tina y le encanta bailar. ¡Hola, Tina! Vamos a tocar unas palmitas. Arriba la grada con Tina. Eso es, me gusta este rollo. A ver esas palmas, Tina. Lenta pero segura. Vaya marcha que tiene esta tortuga. Vamos, Tina. Esta es tu Copa del Mundo. Muchas gracias, Tina. Fuerte el aplauso, por favor.
51-25, Canada on top of Greece at halftime here in Tenerife. And we are in the San Cristobal de la Laguna. Vina Maltzy, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. But as you say, she can't do it all on her own. And right now, you know, for the first probably 12 minutes, that's kind of what the situation was for Greece. She was trying to do everything on her own. And Canada, meanwhile, just take your pick. Everybody was in sync and get the job done. It's been a great start showing up for the Canada national team.
Absolutely. I mean, they have 11 offensive rebounds. They're shooting 50% from 2, 60% from 3. Everything is clicking for them on offense. They already have 12 assists as a team, 85% from the free throw line. It's kind of hard to pick a bad thing about their offense right now. And I think defensively, they've also done a really good job. And I think they're frustrating this Greek team. You know, Maltzy has 12 points, but she does have 11 shot attempts, so not shooting a great percentage. They need to find a way for other people to contribute. But first and foremost, they need to get stops, they need to box out, and then they need to go down and worry about offense. But they're never going to close this gap if they don't start playing some defense.
Out, αμυντικά rebound. Επίθεση, 5 κάτω. 5 κάτω είναι αυτό. Πέτει Κατσίδη. Έτσι, στάγκερ. Για την Κατσίδη που κάνει το κέρν. Εντάξει, η μπάλα έρχεται της Παυλοπούλου.
Please, when you see a closeout at the defensive end, keep fighting. Okay, let's rebound down so we can work on our transition O. Okay, keep it simple. Beat him off the dribble. Here we go.
Well, it's just one game, but the early signs are very good for Canada. And they just seem to be moving from strength to strength in this game. And I'm sure the teams that are watching, including France, they're here. Valerie Garnier, you know, they know that is going to be one heck of a battle. I know it probably brings back bad memories for you to talk about France, because
we do not talk about France.
That was the team that ended Canada's run at the Olympics in 2016, and that was the game that you and everybody else probably felt like Canada could have won and maybe should have won.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we had beat France 3 times in that summer leading up to the Olympics, and then, you know, we lost when it counted, unfortunately, in the quarterfinals, and were kicked out of the medal round. So, and, you know, keep in mind, there's also a lot of Canadians who play in France, so it's like a love-hate relationship with France. Obviously, the Canadians love the league, they love the competition. The French people, they're great. I think they respect us also. But when it comes to national team duties, there's not a lot of friendship there.
Well, Fasula starting the second half here. She gets inside, puts it up and in. Interesting, you know, the one bright spot possibly we saw right at the end of the first half, Fasula, and now we've seen her start the second half and go immediately to the basket. And it's almost as if somebody said, you're either going to play and contribute, or we're going to go down in flames. And Langlos.
Yes, Maya-Marie Langlos, knocking down a shot.
Makes it even harder when you think about it.
And, you know, I'm happy for her that she hit that shot. She came off a pretty major shoulder surgery in December, and this is her first major tournament back. You know, she was there in training camps in the early part of the summer, but missed the games because she wasn't quite ready yet. So I would love to see her get on her offensive form.
Kia Nurse called for a charge. Well, called for
another offensive foul.
Push-off. If I'm
again,
Canada,
I think
that's a tough call.
She was up and, you know, and you're taught to do that. You're taught to kind of sweep and get them off you. You know, don't let them cover you. And
I'm not understanding that.
I think Spenu did another good job of those Greek acting courses. Can we call them those?
Well, you got to do whatever it takes when you're getting beat 54-27. And Fasula being shoved playfully by Maltzy.
You know, I think that's a great job by the Greek team. She just scored on the last possession. You know what? Let's go down. Let's run again for her. Fasula has a height advantage against Nada Chamwa, and why not? It worked the first time, so let's go at it again. And it's also taking that pressure off of Maltzy to have to score every single time down the court.
And the reality is, you know, what is the future of Greece? You either start producing or we go somewhere else. So, you know, we were more concerned about what Greece were going to do on the defensive end, keeping Rangkok Akunwe off the glass as well as Chanwa, but maybe making them work just that little bit harder on defense will pay dividends.
You see Ruth Hamlin here with the ball, came in for Nada Chanwa, who has 3 fouls.
Jamie Scott also into the game for the first time, number 12. Good defense. Maltzy. You've gone to Fasula every time. Go to her now.
I mean, Ruth Hamlin has quite a few inches on Nada Chanwa and Fasula, actually.
And that was not a good pass.
No, but I think she felt the height of
Hamlin
right behind her.
Gaucher. Gaucher's husband's here watching. Sitting up in the clouds, apparently. That surprises me. I would have thought he would have been down here.
If he was down here, we would probably hear him in our microphone, so it's probably best that he is up there.
Kautsidu misses, and Maya Marie brings it out. Rangkok Akunwe showing another element of her game, the passing. Probably the the developments for me for Canada, it's been Rangkok Akunwe. I mean, I haven't seen anything that she's done that's been bad.
You know, and she's coming off a season in France where she was voted MVP of the French League. And if you follow women's basketball, if you follow professional leagues, maybe I'm a little biased because, you know, I've spent my last 6 years playing there and a lot of Canadians play in France, but I think it's one of the best leagues from teams 1 through 12. Like, it's just that competitive. You know, the top team can lose to a lower team on any given night kind of a league. So to be named MVP of that league with the players that they have is outstanding. It's a huge accomplishment, and I think it just shows you how much and her growth over the past few years has been.
Maltzy gets it, passes, now Spanu has it, and finally Spanu is able to get the ball in the basket, back to 25 points. Yeah, I think a lot of people across the Atlantic, maybe not in Canada, but maybe even in Canada, would be amazed by some of the women's leagues in Europe and where you can play basketball. And obviously people like yourself and Kim Gaucher, it's where you've lived and earned your living. Here's Rangkok Akunwe again. Now Hamlin, she misses. Now Rangkok Akunwe again, she misses. And just when I said I hadn't seen her do anything bad, she missed like 2 or 3 putbacks.
I mean, she did get 2 offensive rebounds in that sequence, but...
Spano again, and a chance for a 3-point play. So, interestingly, with Hamlin checking in, Spano seems to have become more active. And she had Gaucher on her back there. That was obviously a switch.
And you know what I like here is, you know, the 4 points we've seen Spanu score in the second half have been layups. They've been more of her shot, where the first half she was shooting 3-pointers, and I don't think that's her game. I mean, she can shoot that when she's feeling good, but it's not her game. Like, start inside out. You're a post player. You're undersized but you're still a post player. So, you know, go to that, and that's what we're seeing here in the second half.
Now Hamlin not able to catch it, but Langlos has it. Now the pass, batted around like a pinball, and the ball up to Maltzy, and she's going to take the opportunity to go to the basket, and Greece on a little bit of a run here and gets it back to 20. And you wonder, you take out some of the starters, you want to get the playing time
Well, I mean, it's not even taking out the starters. If you look at the stats here, you have Kia Nurse with 4 fouls. You have Nada Chanwa with 3 fouls. So maybe Lisa Tomaitis would want to go back to those stars and, you know, 2 of her starters, but I'm not sure you risk it right now. Being up 20, you know, you kind of... Good job calling a timeout. Last time they called a timeout when Greece went on a run. They hit a 3 and, you know, got a stop on defense. So, like we said, basketball's a game of runs. But I think you go with your bench right now and you go with the 5 people who you're on and you trust them. And you just, you know, this is a timeout to calm things down. You know, you just heard we're not going to double down on the post. Make them shoot big shots over Ruth Hamlin, who's able to stand behind and guard because she is so tall. Take care of the basketball. That's what we've seen. We've seen a couple turnovers that have led to points for Greece. So I think it's a good timeout. I think it's just a little bit of, you know, grab a drink, and catch your breath.
Yeah, and the reality is, I mean, you could argue you're only as good as your 12th player in a tournament like this. You need to have everybody contributing and raising their game. This is a World Cup. But Naira Fields in the game, and that tells me there that you've got immediate source of offense. Oh, he picked up her dribble, interestingly. Now Kali. But Fasula and Spanu definitely making a difference here in the 3rd quarter. Gaucher pulls up. Oh, she is automatic. What is she shooting from the floor? Well, that's pretty good. 6 of 10.
50% from 3.
And that was right out of a timeout. That is a killer for Greece.
It is, and you like to give props to Lisa Tomaitis. She knows when to call timeouts. She knows what's to call, and it's worked for Canada.
Gaucher to Hamblin, the lefty. Oh, boy. And now 4 consecutive points for Canada. And that was a nice little jumper from Hamlin. And Miranda Yeen's going to come in. An offensive foul called on Maltzy. Good job by Kali. Taking one for the team. Look at this.
I mean, that's a great call. It's a perfect call. I mean, she was lucky because that was going to be a wide open 3 if she hadn't have been able to draw the offensive foul. So.
Oh. Calcidu almost with the interception.
I love Naira Fields' game. I think she's probably one of the most talented one-on-one players that I have seen. I think the biggest part of her game that she needs to improve on is her passing. Because, you know, at the next level, people scout you. People are going to figure out, you know, how to take away your offenses, you know, take away your shots. So what do you do next? You become a passer. And I still think, you know, it's somewhere that she needs to improve in her game.
Well, they did a good job of getting Hamblin to kind of almost force that. And she missed, but then they didn't get the rebound. Spiridopoulos has 4 fouls.
And, you know, I'm sure that's something that Greece talked about at halftime.
Oh, Fields.
Beautiful stroke.
Automatic.
You know, don't give off offensive rebounds. They gave up 11 in the first half, and they've already given up 4 in this quarter so far. But give credit to Canada. I mean, this shows their athleticism.
And then Hamlin got the rebound, but then something happened on the handoff.
Shea Colley turned it over, tried to get a little too fancy in the front court. Sorry, in the back court.
Spanu. I think at this point, more than anything, probably Greece just looking for some rhythm, if they don't come back in this one, to carry it over into their next couple of games.
I mean, like you said, Greece has given France a run for their money in Euro baskets over the years. You know, Korea
scores. You know, Korea's they're going to be tough.
Don't underestimate them.
Absolutely
I mean, you know, if you were looking at this tournament before it began, you know, before any games happened, who would you say? Korea advances or Greece advances?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Probably pick Korea. Actually.
So,
sorry to all my Greek friends, but you got to be honest. And Greece called timeout, so it was a promising streak there for Greece, but like you said, after the timeout, Canada came right out and just basically.
Great response.
Great response.
I mean, that's what a coach wants, right? You want to be able to call a timeout, tell them to run something, them to execute it and score out of it, and then get a couple stops on defense. And that's exactly what we've seen from Canada in the times that they have called a timeout because Greece has gone on a little bit of a run.
Spiridopoulos taking some ice on the face. I think at least Greece have discovered that with Fasula they can get some offense, they can get something going. Hopefully she'll get some confidence from this game, even though the insertion of Hamblin seems to have slowed her a little.
I mean, I actually think I remember us doing the game last year where we saw Fasula get a couple of her first baskets ever with the senior team for Greece.
Right.
So
yeah, you're right.
Just from seeing her last year and seeing her this year, she's improved, eh? So she's still young. Keep that in mind. She's still going to get better. But I like what I see from her.
Well, now Hamblin fouled Kalsidou. Turn that ball over. And unfortunately for Greece, really, Kalsidou has been a non-factor tonight. She's often, yeah, you can see the foul there. Kalsidou, she can be the best player in the court, or she can just be a complete non-factor. And for Greece tonight, she's been a non-factor.
Yeah, you know, she averaged 13 points a game for them last year at Eurobasket. It was obviously a big reason why they are here in this tournament this year. As far as experience goes, I mean, she's been there. She's done it all. But, you know,
she's overcome two ACL
in consecutive years. As soon as she came back, about 3 months later, she tore her ACL again. And, I mean, this is recently, eh? This is in the last couple of years that's happened to her. So for her to be at this level at her age is also... I mean, that's you have to give her credit.
35, right?
Yeah.
She's 35.
After 2 torn ACLs in her 30s.
Here she is. She's a baller as well. Nikolapoulou back in the game.
Good job on defense by Shea Colley there. Came over, helped, they switched.
And Stamati throws it out of bounds. Just complete confusion.
Which I think was caused by the tough
Canada defense.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. They're just so athletic, Canada. I mean, they can switch, they can press.
They whips that ball into the corner. And that ball goes off of Naira Fields, and they've got no shortage of guards. Canada.
No, they don't. And, you know, we haven't seen Jamie Wisner get any minutes tonight, I believe. Sorry, Jamie Scott. Married name, Scott. Having trouble with married names today. Apparently, I'm just going to go.
They really confuse us. The marriage, I'm still kind of like dizzy from mine.
You know, Jamie Scott's another player for Canada who, she's a scorer, she's athletic.
Kristanaki.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we, you know, see her get into this game
Plouffe. Bounce pass, Hamlin. Good deep from behind by Kaltsidou. That's where Hamlin has to be strong and finish that.
Yeah, as a coach, that's probably, you know, the time where you say, come on, big girl, you got to finish that with authority. Expect that they're going to try and come from behind to block it.
That was Stamati missing that.
You know, Hamlin's been in the program now for probably about 3-4 years. She's been around, maybe a little bit longer, and she has improved immensely.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, her form, her shot, her, you know, fitness, strength, all of it.
Wow, Fields unmolested. Yeah, you're right. I mean, she looks trimmer from what I remembered. Hamlin.
You know, she's come off a couple of years playing.
Look at that.
Look at that.
She just like taking candy away from a baby on that one. No offense.
You know, played a couple of years professionally over in Australia recently. Played in Bourges for the EuroLeague team in France for a couple months, a medical joker replacement. So she's regarded as, you know, a good post at the international level.
Can't teach size. And you know, you think about potential foes for Canada and where you have to be strong, and you have to be strong down low against the USA. Goes without saying.
Absolutely, and I think that's, you know,
they're going to have
a reason why Hamlin is on this team, and it's to have a big body to go up against the Siak from France, against the Cambage from Australia, against, you know, Brittany Griner from the U.S.
Kaltsidou knocks in a three. It's going to be probably too little too late, even though we've got a quarter to go, but Canada just turned on the style. We saw that flurry of points with Greece to get it back to 20. Since that time, it's been all Canada. Look at that, shaking and baking from Kali. Didn't finish.
No, I think she also shot a little too early because you've given, you know, Greece got the ball with 7 seconds left. They could have held the ball and had one shot.
Yeah.
So you don't want to try and take a shot 8 seconds in, because that does give Greece an opportunity to score. It's really important. I know they're up by a lot right now, but these are little things that, you know, Canada can take away from this game. You know, Shea Colley, that was way too early of a shot. If the game was tighter and this was the last quarter, who knows?
You're absolutely right, Shona. 2.6 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Kaltsidou another three. Well, she had a good look, but was short. And with 10 minutes remaining, it's Canada with a vice-like grip on proceedings, 66 to 38 over Greece.
Y cuando termine la música, haremos una votación con aplausos y el público decidirá la vencedora.
Well, you know, when you're up by the margin that Canada are, I mean, statistics, you can expect them just to be far superior, and they are. I mean, they're just shooting better, rebounds.
I mean, I do think if you're looking at stats, Greece obviously did a much better job on defense. Canada only scored 15 in that quarter compared to first quarter 23, second quarter 28. So they did fix that a little bit. You know, they had 11 offensive rebounds at the half. They had 16, so they gave up 5, which is still quite a lot for me for a quarter. You know, that's not something you want to think about, but I think they did a better job of playing defense after they gave up the offensive rebound. I just...
Real quickly, why don't you tell me where Canada women's basketball is? Girls that are playing ball in Canada. What is the process? They try to play in high school, or do they play with clubs before?
No, so, you know, you grow up at a young age, probably around middle school, which is grade 6, 7, 8. You'll start with a traveling team within your province. You know, you're not traveling that far away, and our provinces are big, so you really kind of stay in the region of your city as well.
They are big.
I mean, you're not, you know, 10 hours to get to some parts in my province. So, you know, you don't go a lot of long tournaments. And then when you reach the high school level, if you have the talent, you'll go and play on a rep team that also goes to the U.S. and plays against the AAU system in the U.S. Right. Also in the summers, you know, you kind of have your provincial basketball championship, so you'll make your provincial team. And then I think Canada's done a great job of Canada Basketball has done a great job of developing and realized that they needed to start producing, not producing, but start helping and developing athletes at a younger age. And this is what we're seeing, you know. Nada Chanwa, she, you know, was identified as a teenager. Kia Nurse, Michelle Plouffe, Bridget Carlton, she plays at Iowa State right now. We see her checking in again for the second time. You know, they were identified as teenagers, and they got support as teenagers from Canada Basketball with coaches, you know, developing them throughout the year, even while you're with your high school team. And this is what we're seeing. This is how we're seeing the progression. Basketball has also become a lot more popular in Canada, which obviously helps a lot.
Both men and women. And I suppose also, you know, talking about domestic leagues, you would hope that that would be maybe the next step for Canada to start having some type of network, some club systems that where you can earn a living there. Bridget Carlton.
Yeah, I think, you know, unless it involves a stick, a puck, and ice, any kind of a domestic league is difficult if it's not incorporated with the U.S.
Yeah.
It's just hard. One, our country is enormous.
Yeah.
So it costs a lot to fly, you know, from Toronto to Halifax, Nova Scotia, or to Vancouver, British Columbia. I mean, it's expensive and it's very, very far. So it would be great. I know a lot of these women would love to have that opportunity, or maybe even a WNBA team in Canada. I know, you know, they've talked about that here and there over the years. That's, I think, a way that would also grow the popularity of basketball, which would help Canada Basketball and youth basketball, just because, you know, it would be more visible. So those are little things that maybe, you know, what's the next step for Canada and developing and making the sport more popular. Oh.
And Chanwa gets up, takes exception to the contact with Spanu. I mean, with Chanwa, you know, she had that serious injury, didn't she?
She had that serious. So, I mean, that's just a battle. I don't think any of it was on purpose. Nada Chanwa clearly looks at Spanu right there and says, you know, can't get away with that. You can't do that to me. But, you know, watching the replay, it wasn't on purpose. I think she was trying to get around. Nat did a good job of keeping her on her back.
What did the Mazzoni? Okay, so he's going to both coaches and just saying, and this is good officiating. He's like, listen, let's just calm down, have a word with your player. We don't need to react like that.
No, and you don't want to see anyone get ejected or, you know, even worse, throw a punch and face consequences later or something like that. I mean, sportsmanship is still important even though you're competing against someone else.
I just wondered maybe if Spanu kind of wrapped her arms around Chanwa's arm as they went down, and that's what she took exception to. Anyway, Marinda Yim, and that was a foul on Kautsidu. Clearly stuck her hind end into her as she was running past. You're down 30.
And we were talking about Nada Chanwa, and I'm telling you, this is the fittest I have seen her post-knee injury, like you mentioned a little bit ago before.
Which kept her out of, was it 2012 Olympics, or was it?
No. She was in 2012 because she was still in university then.
That's right.
I think she missed.
Oh, she missed 2016, was it?
No.
So
maybe she missed.
2014?
No, she was there in 2014.
I know she missed something.
2013 maybe, but no, you know what? 2016, she was there in Rio. She played the WNBA, but she still wasn't herself yet. You could still tell that knee had affected her. And, you know, it happened, I believe, in the semifinals of the NCAA tournament. They won that game, but it was a gruesome knee injury. I mean, you saw, so she missed the final.
That's what it was.
And everyone says, you know, if she had played, could they have won? And, you know, I mean, you call it the trifecta of knee injuries, where you talk about ACL, MCL, meniscus. It's one of the worst that you could do. But I'm telling you, she has worked incredibly hard to get back to the level that she is at. Like I said, she had a great WNBA season. She's played amazingly over in South Korea this past pro season, and I just love where she is at right now.
So there's Maya Marie Langlois. Hits the short little jump shot. And
again, I love that Maya is shooting, and she's looking to shoot, and she's scoring, because, again, she is another person who's coming off of an injury that sidelined her for about seven months, I would say.
She started her career in Sweden, didn't she? There's the long one from Ayim, no good, and there's...
She did. She's been over in Russia recently. Maybe we'll get her in France one of these days. We just try and recruit more Canadians.
With a name like that, she would probably fit right in. There's Spanu going baseline, gets rejected by Achanwa, gets it back, gets it off the back of the rim. Plouffe passed up the three. And
maybe she should have shot the three. It would have been an easier shot than the layup she just tried to attempt.
And there, Nicolopoulou just lost it, fumbled it, and a nice pass from Plouffe to Achanwa. You talk about Achanwa's fitness and getting down the court.
She was the first big down the court. I mean, she initiated that fast break.
Bridget Carlton in the game, number 6. I think she's got possibilities with this Canada team.
Absolutely. I think, you know, I watch Bridget, and we've seen her for a couple summers now with Canada basketball. She's still only in university. She's an Iowa State Cyclone going into her senior year. And she kind of, you know, if she can continue to develop her shot, I mean, she's had some big games in university. But if she can continue to develop her shot, I kind of see her like a Kim Gaucher. And those are huge, enormous shoes to fill, but she has the same profile to me as Kim was when she was younger as well. Like, I know Kim at that age as well. So I'm really excited about Bridget and what she brings to the future of this Canada basketball team.
And another foul call down low. Nope. Ayim, I have to admit, I didn't know Gaucher had such big feet.
Well, when you've been playing for the national team as long as she has, they grow every year.
All right, yes. What was that call there? 24-second shot clock violation? Oh, traveling, they called it. Okay. And Miranda Ayim goes out. What are the positives for Greece, if there are any positives in this blowout? What are the positives? Because, you know, we saw Nigeria lose to Australia earlier today. And coming out is Cosma. So she makes that one. And we could say that, you know, Nigeria, they may have lost by, what, 20 points or nearly 20 points, but they were right there. They fought. With this Greece team, they've been playing from behind really since, what, the beginning of the second quarter.
Yeah.
A mountain decline.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a real positive, but the one advantage right now that you know, the Greek coach has is he can rest Maltzy and he can rest Kaltsidou. Maybe we'll see Spanu come out because they have to win a game. They have 2 more games after this. They have to win a game to have a possibility to move on. So do you start looking to the future? Future being tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then the next game, you know, they play France, they play Korea. Do you rest your players now? Not rest them, but you know what I mean. I'm not sure there's much reason to put Maltzy back in the game.
And also Spanu right now. She's looking pretty tired. But nevertheless, Spanu has played. Where is she right there? Got 27 minutes. So it might be an argument for getting her out of the game as well. Kia Nurse back in there. It is definitely a fun and exciting Canada team. And watching them here, you realize they've got huge possibilities, really. And it has been a process that it's just yielding encouraging results, isn't it?
And, you know, we talked about, we just saw Spanu go off, and I don't think she'll enter again, so it's at recovery time for them. You know, Maltzy, Spanu, the big guns for Greece. But the same kind of goes for Canada. Right now, other than Kia Nurse, who was in foul trouble and actually enjoyed a long time sitting on the bench getting a breather, we have Jamie Scott in the game. We have Michelle Plouffe, Shea Colley, Ruth, while the other big guns for Canada are also able to rest for those upcoming games. And that's a big advantage.
Let me ask you, I haven't actually got your opinion on this one with Kia Nurse. From the time that she's entered the program with Canada to where she is now, and how much her UConn experience has helped her in playing for Gino Auriemma. I mean, this is, you know.
She was always skilled. She was skilled before Gino. She was young, so she was, you know, obviously she had a lot to learn. And I think playing for Gino, she was able, and to just be in that program and around those kind of players, they demand for you to get better and play better, and that's what we have seen out of her the last 4 years. I mean, I think she had a good rookie campaign. It was up and down, but a lot of rookies have that kind of a summer, their first summer out of university. We've seen offensively her talent level rise.
Yeah.
And, you know, this game, leading up to this, she's been shooting the ball very well, but she does sometimes take, in my opinion, very ill-advised and contested shots where, you know, she needs to trust her teammates around her a little bit more. And that's what I mean. You know, before she got into the foul trouble, I loved what they were doing. She was hitting her shot. She was driving when she thought it was her opportunity. But then the team was also playing as a team, and they were passing the ball more than I have seen leading up to this game.
She was letting the game come to her.
Yes, and that's exactly what you need to do, because everyone knows who Kia Nurse is. If you've scouted Canada, you know who Kia Nurse is, and she's going to be a focal point. And I think she let this game come to her. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to see her capabilities because she spent a lot of the time with the 4 fouls. But
there's a whole tournament.
There is a whole tournament. We're going to see her again, absolutely.
Kristanaki could move for her inside.
I mean, kind of smart. Go up against this player who has 4 fouls.
Right.
And what I like here, too, we see Jamie Scott in. So Canada have gone 12 deep this game.
Jamie Scott, a late addition, right? She came in for Alexandra. Alexander, she got injured.
Kayla Alexander, you know, she was going to make her Canada senior team debut. Played great in their exhibition game against Japan 2 weeks ago. And then against the U.S., she had a good game, but she unfortunately sprained her knee and wouldn't be healthy by now. It's not, from what I understand, it's not a serious thing, but she wouldn't have been able to go right now. So they brought back Jamie, and it's not, Jamie's been with the program. She was on the team last year, so this isn't anything new with her. She was with the team the entire summer. I mean, there's a group of 15, possibly 16 maybe, that are, any one of them can be here. Any one of them could be wearing that jersey for Canada. So it's a tough job for Lisa right now to, who do you take? And you kind of go with who had a good summer,
This is a great problem to have if you're a coach, but it's
a tough discussion with players who, you know, you're not going to bring. But it's an absolutely, as far as the program goes, I think it's one of the best problems you could have.
Well, I know that Lucas Mondello has that problem with Spain. Valerie Garnier has that problem with France. You know, the contending nations here for spots on the podium have that problem.
They do.
So this is a good problem to have. It's
it
just
is.
And you know, if you're a player, I guess you have to use it as inspiration to want to show them next time.
Yeah, and you know, the coaches are going to give you feedback maybe when this tournament's over and tell you what to work on, what they want to see next summer. And that's what these 12 women do here, but also the 3 other alternates for Canada. They go back, they work on what CB asked them to work on, and they come back better.
I remember one tournament, Ana Cruz for Spain was not picked, and that was after she had gone to the WNBA, and it really raised a lot of eyebrows that Lucas Mondello had not taken her. There's a shot, good shot, and I'm just going to check that right now. And the point being that Ana Cruz was not in that Eurobasket 2013 team, Eurobasket Women 2013.
After she went to the Olympics in 2012?
Yeah, that won.
They beat France in France.
Yeah.
Spain beat France in France that year.
Actually, I'm not sure that she did go to the Olympics. But anyway, she came back. She did come back and became one of the most important players, and she is now. So she accepted it and got better. Nice drive again from Chris Tanaki.
And, you know, let's talk about Naya Renkaki-Kunwe a little bit more. I absolutely love her game. I've been fortunate enough to play with her. And she also played in the WNBA last summer, and she decided to take this summer off to just solely focus on Canada basketball and this tournament and show her commitment. And I think that also, that shows a lot about your character and how much you love to wear your team jersey, Canada, across your chest. So that's also something really
interesting. Going back to Ana Cruz, now I know why I don't remember her in the Olympics, because Spain didn't qualify.
Oh, right.
They crashed out of the Eurobasket in 2011.
They didn't even make it out of the group phase,
and that's shocker. Yeah, that's right. And so the point being, Ana Cruz then did not make it in the Eurobasket 2013 team, and then instead of letting that ruin her day, I'm sure it wasn't a pleasant call by Coach Mondello, she ended up coming back stronger and becoming an even more important part of the team. Kozma for another 3, short. I don't think Coach Karamidas was too enamored with that shot selection, nor was Maltzy. Maltzy, perhaps it'll be interesting to see if she ends up getting into coaching.
I mean, I think as far as Greek basketball goes, Maltzy will always have a job and a position if she wants within their organization.
Yeah, you would think so. That said, it's not always the case for a lot of these famous teams. Nice move for Fasula.
I really like what we've seen from Fasula so far in this game. I mean, I don't think she's backed down, and just the improvements that we've seen since last year.
And I think that's when you talk about drawing the positives, that has to be one of them. Scott! Great Scott! She drilled it. That's her reputation, isn't it?
She's definitely a shooter. I mean, you know, they had her and Ruth Hamlin played together at Oregon State, and they had that wonderful run to the Final Four. A little bit unexpected, and she's a shooter. She's a scorer, plain and simple.
The miss, Renkaki-Kunwe. The Lady Beavers, or are they just the Beavers?
I think it's just a Beaver.
OSU. So we're in the final 20 seconds, and Canada putting the finishing touches on a resounding win.
Did you know the beaver is the national animal of Canada?
I did not know that.
Do you want any more Canada facts? I'll pass them on as the days go by.
The national anthem, I did. So there are a lot of dams up there.
We have a lot of dams.
Look at that.
It's a dam country.
Kristinaki. Well, I like the Beaver, and the Canadians have come out and just impressed. That probably is the most impressive performance we've seen of the day so far. Canada winning it convincingly 81-50 over Greece. All smiles on the faces of the ladies wearing the red tonight. And a lot of hope for Canada after that. You have to say, disappointment for Greece. If it was a 25-point spread, well, they beat it. Canada did. They beat them by 31.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of shock. I'm not sure if Greece really knew Canada was going to come out and put on this kind of performance.
Yeah, they just dominated them inside more than anything. And then defensively, they were just solid. Canada right across the board, 8 of 18 from the arc, 19 of 42 inside the arc, 19 of 27 at the line. Look at the rebounding. They almost doubled them. 51-27, 19 offensive rebounds. And a lot of that is Rain Kakakunwe. Interesting to see her final numbers.
It says she only has 5 offensive. She has 8 rebounds total, 5 offensive.
Gaucher with the 16 points. I mean, she just keeps wheeling and dealing in the Canada shirt. She is terrific. Plouffe, quiet leader in the steals department. She had 3. And there you have it. Gaucher, Fields, and Nurse. Gosh, I can remember every single one of those points from Fields. It seems like she had more as well. So Rain Kakakunwe in the end finished with 8 rebounds to go with her 11 points. But that's a good night at the office.
It is, and
22 minutes.
If you're looking at stats right now, look at these stats. You have 11 players for Canada who scored. That is a lot of offensive power. You have 4 in double figures. That's a great night at the office.
And the bottom line is, as a coach, you're probably just looking at the final score, and you want to know how many points you allowed. And they only allowed 50 points for Greece. And, that's a good defensive showing.
Yeah, we're talking about their offense because they did put up 81 points, which is a lot of points as well. But like you said, their defense, they just smothered them. They made everything difficult for Greece. And then Canada were able to get a rebound, get out, and run.
So some sad looks. Well, not forlorn, but looks of we've got a lot of work to do on the faces of those Greek players. And for the opposition tonight, I mean, what do you think is going through their minds right now? Wow, we're pretty good. That's what I think.
I think they're saying, we're good. We knew we were this good, though. We were able to put an entire 40-minute game together. There was a couple little lapses. Coach Tomaitis did a great job calling a timeout, and they scored every single time out of it. But I also think it's, we've got that past game. We've got the one game under our belts. We got to win. Let's not celebrate too much because this tournament's not over. They still have to play Korea, and they still have to play, I want to say, their nemesis, France, who I feel like over the years, for some reason, always plays their best basketball against Canada moving forward. So they don't have long to celebrate. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. It's like, quickly turn the page on this one, and all that experience that you keep getting year after year, you begin to realize that, you know what, this game is over. Let's go back to the locker room, enjoy it, and let's get ready for tomorrow. So great start for Canada. Also France up at the top of Group A. Korea and Greece are 0-1, and you would think, judging from today's results, Greece could be the odd team out, but we shall see if they can rebound. That's it. 81-50, Canada win it over Greece.
En Loterías apostamos por el deporte, porque el deporte nos enseña a superarnos, nos enseña que el equipo está por encima de las individualidades. El deporte nos enseña que si persigues tus sueños, puedes cumplirlos. Loterías con el deporte. Ganamos todos.
Muchos creen